Well, kind of like the last thing I heard was the thing about do scientists uh, not concern themselves with God or care about God? Probably. Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We don't care. But I want to go from the beginning. I must tell you I'm an atheist. Okay, it's a word that is just a label to explain that I don't. You guys have hijacked it. Now the religions have tried to hijack the word believe and faith. Okay, there's a lot of things I believe in, but none of them are spiritual. I have faith in a lot of stuff, none of it's spiritual. I have faith and believe that if I flick this switch on this lamp, this light will go out. See? I was right. Now, you asked, first of all, you started out by loading your question. Let's assume that God is real. That's kind of unfair. But let's assume that others think he's. See, I can't think that way. It's you asked if God is since God is real. If it's so perfect, why did He create us? You answered your own question. That's just it. It's just okay. Do you understand? I'll tell you. Because this God they believe in is supposedly so perfect, there is no valid reason why it would create creatures like us unless it was vain, which is what the Bible teaches, actually. The Bible doesn't teach God loves us. The Bible teaches that the God of Abraham is vain and prideful and selfish and actually a sort of a serial killer, if you ask me. I mean, the entity runs around in the book just killing everything. It's unbelievable. You can't go one book to the next without him killing hundreds of thousands of citizens from somewhere, according to whoever's writing the book. But if you think like Venomfangx and stuff, then you think God did, so it's kind of silly. If it's a perfect, like you say, a perfect being, there would be no reason whatsoever to create creatures like us or to send itself down, disguised as a human, starting out as a baby after it rapes a 12-year-old virgin girl. Yeah, the Mary of the Bible and everything, she was 12 when she had Jesus. It started out with pedophiles, and so I can't help it. You have to ridicule the ridiculous. And religion, the Bible, Torah, Quran, and all of them, to atheists, to people like me, they're ridiculous. So it's really hard when people try to ask serious questions about them. Because if they think about it, listen to what they're asking. You're asking me to put aside reality and rationality. Just put it aside. That's what you're asking. And then you went on to this higher power thing, as if it's any different. There's no difference. That's what they mean when they say that in AANA. They mean God. They try to tell you that's not it, but then at the same time, they tell you that if you don't turn yourself over to this higher power, you can't get saved or you can't get clean. I'm here to tell you that that's bullshit too. There is some real good therapy out there, very secular. One of the best is called rational recovery. There's no such thing as higher power. You have to take responsibility for your own actions. You You can't give them to somebody else. You can't place blame on a higher or lower power. You know, like the devil thing. The devil made me do it thing. Same difference. Same difference. Then you ask, why can't there be a creator? Why didn't God create? Why? We're science. It's science. We're not sure that there was really a Big Bang. That's why it's called a theory. It's a hypothesis still. But it's pretty much everything they've said about it as they try to observe what the mathematics, the physics, the calculus and trig and everything else says, and the astronomy, everything, all that says the universe is doing because of the Big Bang, we've observed it doing. Like the galaxies moving away from us at certain different speeds, so different times, whether they're moving towards us, or at a different speed, or, you know, we can tell those things. So when we interpolate instead of extrapolate, you go way back to the beginning, it comes back to a little pin. Now, we didn't say that's the beginning. That's just the beginning of this rendition of the universe. It's probably always was and always will be. All this energy can't ever be destroyed, so it just changes over and over and over infinitely. Bang! 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 You get it? Like, in and out, breathing. The universe itself is alive enough. It doesn't need all this hocus pocus and magic. And neither do you. That's why there doesn't need to be a God. We don't need magic. It's unnecessary. In fact, mythology and superstition and the like have ruined lives. It's caused many, much, hatred and bigotry and insanity and ignorance and just, I mean, Christians we have fundamentalists here that actually, they denigrate science and intelligence as if their God actually said, oh, you ate that apple of knowledge, I wanted you to stay stupid like animals. I don't want you to be smart. You don't want any of their kids to be doctors or biologists or scientists. That's why there's no God. Not an Abrahamic God, that's for dang sure. Stupid. Or Quranic God, Torah, Allah, or Jewish God, or one of the many 100,000 gods of Hinduism or whatever the freak. Come on. It's all unnecessary. A lot of it is really just mankind, human beings being very superstitious, during the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and if they saw something they didn't understand and it had power, they automatically assumed it was a god. Or a god had a hand in it. The Greek gods, for instance. It was surprising that a lot of their godly notions, a lot of their heroes' notions, came from finding dinosaur and Pleistocene fossils and such. Like you see an old mastodon skull, big hole in the middle, and it looks like a big head with an eye hole in the middle. At 300 BC, they didn't get it. Anyway, the Messiah myth has been around forever. All this stuff has been around a long time. It's all because mankind was so superstitious for so long. We need to really climb out of all that. That's why the higher power thing and all that is not only not realistic, it doesn't need to be realistic, it's illogical. Why isn't there any? It doesn't need to be. There's no need, it's not necessary. Everything we do and say and think, we do. I mean, it's our decision.